everybody. Enriched, welcome to YouTube channel Enriched Biology. Previously we did the morphology of plants and today we'll do the anatomy of plants. Morphology, it is the study of external features and structure of the living organism, whether it is plants or the animals. Anatomy is the study of internal structure of the living organism, the organs of the living organism. Just you can say the study of digestive system of the frog, study of circulatory system of the frog, study of nervous system of the human being. This is called the anatomy. Similarly, if we study the organs of the organ system at the tissue level, at the cellular level, then it is called as the histology. In case of plants, their organ system differentiation is not much as in case of animals. So, because plants are stationary and their tissues are somewhat different from the animals, and there is not much differentiation of the organs. Internally, they are studied at the tissue level. So, in case of plant, the study of the internal organ is at the tissue level, which is histology. It is also called the anatomy of the plants. So, what is tissue? I have told you in my previous video that tissue is the clustering of cells or same kind of cells to perform the certain function, to perform the specific function. It may be the grouping of more than one kind of cells to perform the certain function, specific function. In case of plants, the tissue, depending upon their characteristic, depending upon their quality, there are two types, meristematic and permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue, they have the power of division and the redivision, and they continuously divide. Permanent tissue, they lost the power of division and redivision, and they form the certain specific functions. Meristematic tissue, depending upon their location, there are three types: apical, intercalary and lateral. Apical meristem, it is present, the group of cells, they are present at the stem tip, at the root tip. They are active, they have dense cytoplasm, conspicuous nucleus, and thin walled cells with little intercellular spaces. They have the power of division and redivision. They continuously divide. Apical meristem divides it, add to the growth of the plant longitudinally. The plant becomes, the parts of the plant, root, shoot, they become elongated by the activity of the apical meristem. When the apical meristematic cells they divide and redivide, then after many divisions the cells get elongated, and some of the cells they are left just below the elongated cells which are active, and they form the intercalary meristem. They form the bud which will further divide and redivide the cells of they will give rise to stem, branch, or the leaf, or the flower. So this is called the intercalary meristem. Intercalary meristem and apical meristem, they are the primary meristem. Depending upon their region, there are two types. There are primary meristem, they no doubt add to the length of the plant, and they originate at the time of embryo. Then lateral meristem, it is secondary meristem. It originates after dedifferentiation of the differentiated cells. Lateral meristem, they add to the girth of the plant, they add to the girth of the root, girth of the stem branch. This is called the lateral meristem. Fascicular meristem, interfascicular meristem, fascicular cambium, intrafascicular cambium, and you can say core cambium. These are the examples of lateral meristem. They add to the girth of the plant. So this is all about meristematic tissue. Then you can say the meristematic tissue, after certain division the cells get elongated and then they are differentiated and they lose the power of the division, and they are specialized, their structure and function is somewhat changed. They are specialized to perform certain function, and such tissue they are called as the permanent tissue. So permanent tissue are the group of cells having the same structure and function, but they have lost the power of division. How they originate? They originate by differentiation of the meristematic cells. Permanent tissue, it is of two types: simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue, it is a group of cells of the same kind performing the specific function. Complex permanent tissue, when more than one kind of cells they aggregate together, they are grouped together to perform the certain function, then it is called as the complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue, it is of further of three types: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Parenchyma and collenchyma, they are to say living cell, and sclerenchyma, they are the dead cell. So in parenchyma, the cells are oval, hexagonal, round. They have intercellular spaces in between them, large vacuole, and their walls are thin. They are formed of cellulose. These parenchymatous cells, they form the epidermis and ground tissue of the plant. They also form the pith, medullary rays. All these they are formed of the parenchyma cells. Then parenchyma cells, their function is storage and secretory. They store the food grain. However, in green parts of the plant, in the leaves and the green stems, these parenchyma cells, they have chloroplast in them, contain the chlorophyll, and they synthesize the food. So such parenchyma is called the chlorenchyma. So parenchyma containing the chloroplast is called as the chlorenchyma. In aquatic plants, the cells, parenchymatous cells, they acquire large cavities to provide buoyancy to the plant to float it. Such parenchyma cells, they are called as the aerenchyma. Sclerenchyma cells, they are dead cells. Sclerenchyma tissue contains the dead cells, and there are two types: sclerenchyma fiber and sclerites. Sclerenchyma fibers, they are elongated cells with tapering ends, walls are lignified, and they have the wide lumen. They provide strength to the plant, mechanical support to the plant. Sclerites, they are oval, you can say hexagonal, round shaped cells. Their walls are also lignified, lumen is small, and they also provide strength to the plant. They are present in the hard seed coats. They are also present in the pulp of this guava, pear, and spota. So this is all about simple permanent tissue. To say in simple permanent tissue, parenchyma and collenchyma, they are to say living cells. In collenchyma cells, the walls are thickened, and thickening is due to hemicellulose, cellulose, and pectin. And thickening is uneven at the corners. So they provide elasticity of the plant organ where they are present, as in case of petiole, as in case of pedicel of the flower. And there are present collenchymatous cells. So they provide elasticity. So parenchyma, they are storage, food synthesizing, providing buoyancy. Collenchyma cell provide elasticity. Sclerenchyma cell, they are protective. They provide mechanical support to the plant. Then we come to the complex permanent tissue. Complex permanent tissue, I told you, it has more than one kind of cells, and it is of two types: xylem and phloem. Xylem, both the tissue, xylem and phloem, they are conducting tissue. Xylem conducts water and minerals from the roots to the other parts of the plant. Phloem conducts manufactured food from leaf to the other parts of the plant. So xylem comes, I told you the complex permanent tissue is composed of more than one type of cell. In xylem, 4 types of cells are present, which are those: sclerenchyma fibers, xylem parenchyma, xylem tracheates, xylem vessel. In case of angiosperm, all these 4 kinds of cells are present in the xylem, but in case of gymnosperm, vessels are lacking. Xylem fibers, they are the tapering cells, cylindrical cell tapering ends with lignified walls. And xylem tracheates, they are oval, round shaped cells or hexagonal cells. Their walls are also lignified. They have the pits. Xylem vessels, more than one cells, they are placed one above the other to form the vessel-like structure. Their walls are also lignified and they are perforated, and they help both tracheids and vessels, they help in the conduction of water and minerals. Xylem parenchyma, they are present around the xylem vessels, and they are storage in function. So this is all about xylem. And the first formed element in the root or the shoot of the element of the xylem, they are called as the protoxylem, and the later formed element of the xylem, they are called as the metaxylem. Protoxylem and metaxylem. Then phloem. Phloem is also composed of four kinds of cells: phloem fibers, phloem parenchyma, phloem companion cells, and you can say the phloem sieve set apparatus. Sieve set apparatus consists of cells, seed tubes, which are perforated at the end walls. Their common end walls are perforated, so they are joined with each other. Their side walls, they also have pits, and they are connected with the companion cells. These they don't have nucleus. Seed tube, seed cells, they don't have nucleus. Their function is coordinated by nucleus of the companion cells. Companion cells, they are associated with these seed cell apparatus, and they control and coordinate the activities of, they are nucleated having cytoplasm. They control the activities of the phloem. They control the activities of phloem sieve set apparatus. Then phloem fibers, they are also elongated structure with tapering ends and lignified walls. They are suberized as well, and these phloem fibers, they are of many commercial apparatus. Importance. Phloem fibers, they are called as the bast fibers, as in case of jute, shanham, they are of commercial apparatus. Importance. This is all about phloem. So this is all about complex permanent tissue. Xylem and phloem, when they are present together, they form the bundle which is called as the vascular bundle. So depending upon the location, then you can say the plant tissues of three types: epidermis, dermal tissue, groin tissue, vascular tissue. Dermal tissue consists of epidermis. It has the uppermost layer. It is uppermost covering of the root and the shoot or the leaf, and the cells are compactly arranged with no intercellular spaces. They bear hair. In case of root, the hair are the elongation of the root cell. They are single cellular. In case of stem, the hair are multicellular, and they are called as the trichomes. In case of leaf epidermis, there are present some opening which are called as the stomata. These openings, they are guarded by the guard cells. They are bean-shaped cells. They are guarded by guard cells. Guard cells, they are surrounded by the subsidiary cells. By the activities of turgidity and non-turgidity of the guard cells, stomata being get opened and closed, and they help in exchange of gases as well as transpiration. That is, their function is respiration as well as transpiration. The ground tissue consists of parenchymatous cells. It forms the cortex, pith, medullary rays, and mesophyllary leaves. Vascular tissue consists of xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem, they are present in bundles. When these bundles, they are arranged along the different radii, then they are called as the radial. Vascular bundles, they are called as the radial. I am to say phloem on one radius, on the outer side, xylem on the other side, radius on the inner side, alternating with each other. Such arrangement is called as the radial arrangement, and the vascular bundle is called as radial vascular bundle, as it is present in case of roots. Phloem, then in in stems, what happens? Xylem and the phloem, they are present at the same radius. They are present at the same level, from phloem outside and xylem toward the inner side. Such type of bundles, they are called as the conjoint collateral. Conjoint collateral. In case of dicot stem and root, in between the phloem and the xylem, there is present active layer of cells which meristematic layer you can say, which can divide and redivide to form the secondary xylem and secondary phloem, and this is called as the cambium. The bundles having the cambium, they are called as the open. Bundles lacking the cambium, they are called as the closed. So open, conjoined, collateral bundles, they are the characteristics of dicot stem, and the closed bundles, they are the characteristics of the monocot stem. This is all about type of tissue. Then we come to the anatomy of root. If you cut the section of transverse section of dicot root, what you will observe? Outermost layer is epidermis. Epidermis has compactly arranged cells, and this epidermis, some of the cells, they are elongated to form the root hair, which help in the water absorption and minerals. Then epidermis is bears the layer of wax-like layer that is called as the cuticle, to prevent the desiccation and to prevent it from the infection. So it is protective in function. Next to the epidermis, there are present parenchymatous cells, which are loosely arranged and with large vacuole and intercellular spaces. It form the cortex. So lowermost layer of the cortex, innermost layer of the cortex, it is somewhat again modified into barrel-shaped cells, which form the endodermis. This endodermis cells, they are compactly arranged. No doubt they are parenchymatous cells, they are compactly arranged. Their tangential and the radial wall, they are thickened, and these thickening, they form the strips which are called the Casparian strips. Inner to the endodermis, there are present 2 to 3 layers of the parenchymatous cells which form the pericycle, and below the pericycle are arranged vascular bundles, to say xylem and the phloem, in alternate manner at 2 different radii, and radial vascular bundles, so they are present. Xylem alternating with the phloem. Xylem is towards the inner side and phloem is towards the outer side. Then in case of root, protoxylem is facing towards outside and metaxylem towards inside. Such bundles, they are called as endarch. Such bundles, they are called as the endarch. Then in between the phloem and the xylem, some cells are present, parenchymatous cells are present, which is called as the conjunctiva tissue. Which is called as the conjunctiva tissue. Then in the center, there is present pith. This is all about the anatomy, or you can say histology of the root. Outermost epidermis, then cortex, then endodermis, then pericycle, then vascular bundles, in between the vascular bundle conjunctiva tissue, and in the center is pith. In case of dicot root, pith is very much reduced, and number of vascular bundle, it may be 2, 3, 4, 5, not more than that. So when the vascular bundles, there are 2, condition is called a diarch, when 3 triarch, when 4 tetrarch, pentarch, 6 hexarch, like this. This is all about the histology of dicot root. In case of monocot root, they is just similar to the dicot root, except the number of vascular bundles is more than 6. Numerous vascular bundles are present. However, they are also arranged in radial manner, and no cambium is present. So this is all about the histology of root and dicot root and tears. Monocot root. So one thing more I want to tell you, that this cambium, I told you, is the lateral tissue. It is a secondary meristematic tissue. In case of dicot stem, originally the intravascular cambium, it is between parent and the phloem, the xylem is called as the intravascular cambium. It is primary, but the cell in between the 2 bundles, they also get dedifferentiated to form the cambium, that is intervascular cambium. It is the secondary cambium. They divide and redivide to form to get the add to the xylem, add to the phloem outside and xylem on inside. So this type of cambium, they help in the addition to the add to the girth of the plant. Then core cambium is also present. What happens? Some of the cells of the cortex below the epidermis, they get dedifferentiated. So it is also secondary meristem. Secondary meristem is formed by the dedifferentiation of the mature cell, permanent cell. So core cambium is formed by the dedifferentiation of the cortex tissue. Some of the layers of cortex tissue, they become active, divide and redivide, and they push the epidermis upward, and they are suberized. Suberin is deposited on them. They form the bark of the trees. You see the woody plants that very hard bark is formed. That is suberized bark, and this is formed by the core cambium. I think you might have followed, and next time we will do histology of or anatomy of stem, diposteme, monostem, as well as the leaf. I wish you, I hope you might have followed, listen it, subscribe it, share it with your friends so that they can be benefited. Don't forget to subscribe it. It will add to my caliber. Okay, bye. Have a good day.